everybody, I'm Natalie, and today we're doing a little segment on shooting outdoors when it's sunny. I'm using my iPhone as the video capture, but it's going to work exactly like if you were using any smartphone to take pictures outside. So the lighting will be really similar to that. And we're actually, right now we're in the shade. We're under an awning, which is a phenomenal option if you have to shoot outdoors and it's sunny. But let's take a little walk out into the sun and show you how that works. So here's my lovely model, Molly. Hi. And we're gonna take a walk down here. And so now we're out in the sun. So you might be the kind of person that says, oh, it's a sunny day. What a great thing. Let's go out and take pictures. I'm not that person. I'll show you why. If you come stand here, so this is Molly in full sun. See, you go ahead and close your eyes. It's terrible. She can barely keep her eyes open. It's very bright, and you'll notice that the shadows are very, very dark. So anything that's not lit, close your eyes. The only thing that is, well lit are things that's hit directly by the sun. But you can see here the shadow is incredibly dark. I would describe that as like not a super flattering or soft look. And so for me, it's not personally my favorite. And then so this is like the sun is directly behind us. I'm going to turn 180 degrees here and show you. So yeah, there's the sun. And so then Molly's right over here, 180 degrees, completely facing the sun. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move myself 90 degrees around her so that it's to the side. So now you can see we have what's called kind of split lighting. Half of her face is lit by the sun. You can see these parts over here that are really bright, and then you can see the shadow kind of moved over, and all this is in shade. This is not a good look either. I would not recommend having the sun off to either side when you're shooting in sun outdoors. If it was me and I wanted to take a portrait in this light, we would actually head over to the shade. So Molly, let's take a little walk. You can see here that there's a nice big tree creating some shade. And here we are. Look at this. So here we have beautiful portrait lighting. I think this is absolutely your best option. It looks particularly good because you can see the background is also in shade. If the background was in full sun, this would not look as good. And we don't really have an example of that here I would show you, but basically anytime that your subject is in shade and your background is too, you're in a good situation. You can see here there are still shadows, but they're much softer. They're not completely blacked out. And then the kind of gradient between shadow and what's properly exposed is a really soft line, which is a nice transition. There's one more scenario I want to show you, Molly. We're gonna take a little walk where we're facing the sun. So now, as the photographer here, you can see we're facing the sun. And if I turn Molly towards me here, this is the only other scenario that I would describe as acceptable for shooting in sun, where you, the photographer, actually you're the one in pain right now. If you look at me, I'm squinting like crazy. We don't need to focus in on that. But Molly here has like kind of a cool halo around her hair. She looks really good in this lighting. The only thing that I would do is maybe increase the exposure a little bit, which you can actually do by tapping on the screen and just sliding the exposure up a little bit. And I'll demonstrate how to do that. But I think that is, this is definitely a nice option for taking a picture. And I think it works best when the background is shadier than bright. So actually, let's just show that example. Come over here into the street. Let's look both ways. Okay, we're good. We're basically in Mayberry. Now you can see if the background is in full sun and she has the sun behind her, you can see that the street where there's full sun is the background is looking very bright, and Molly's face is starting to look kind of dark. So I wouldn't describe this, even if I were to increase the exposure here like I'm doing right now, the contrast is still very extreme. Molly looks good now, the background looks crazy and like we're, in a movie where it's like the future and they're trying to make it look all hazy. So not my favorite option. Let's take a little walk over here. So if you are using the scenario where you're shooting into the sun and you like this look, your best bet is gonna be to find a background that is in shade with just some sun peeking through. So you can see, I'm gonna come over this way. The sun's now past that tree. Molly's gonna stand right here. Molly, come a little closer to me. Right there is perfect. You can see there's some like highlight again around her face. She's basically in shade. Actually, take a few steps up towards me. Yeah, I want you in sun. There we go. So she's backlit by the sun. You can see the light coming around her hair here, and the background is mostly in shade. So it's kind of evened out that extreme difference between shadow and highlight. And we've got some nice lighting here. So those are my options for shooting outdoors portraits on a sunny day. And so we've got backlight as the great option, and then the other better option in my opinion is full shade. So